Okay, for this impromptu mentalism video, I'm just going to describe how the trick actually looks, and then I'll leave a link to the tutorial. So, first of all, you want to get a deck of cards. You can use a borrowed deck with no jokers. So remove the jokers, have the spectator shuffle the cards as much as they like, and what we're going to do is we're going to build what we'll call a focus chart with the cards from our shuffled deck. Now, this chart is going to be created while you as the performer are not looking. But first you're going to describe to the spectator, explain to them exactly how they're going to carefully build this chart. Okay? It's really easy. All they're going to do is they're going to hold their shuffle deck face up in their hands, and they're simply going to deal random amounts of cards into piles dictated by the values of the cards they come across. So for instance, this first card at the bottom of the pile is a 3, so they're going to deal 3 cards starting with the card that dictates how many cards they deal as 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, just like that. Now for aces, court cards, and 2s, just to keep things in balance for the amount of piles that are dealt out, we're going to have those values for aces, 2s, and court cards represent 5. Okay? So for this ace, we're going to deal 5, starting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just like that. Now we have a 4, so we're going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4. Court card, of course, is 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Court card 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have a 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now we ran out of cards, so what you can do, actually, the spectator can choose a card to finish off a pile. It doesn't matter what card, and they don't have to utilize all the cards that are left. They can, let's say, choose 8 here. So start that as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that ends perfectly, and that would be fine. Now let's just say the values were too high, and let's say they did 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they ran out of cards and they couldn't finish the cards. That's fine. Whatever cards are left over, they just get put aside and are not used for the rest of the trick. Okay? So let's just say that's what happened. So they did 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's fine. We can leave it like that, and we won't use the rest of those cards. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to create a focus card for our focus chart. Now, to do this, we want to single out one suit from the rest of the group. Now, what I mean by that is we only want to have one suit of its own kind different from the rest of the group. So let's just say what they can do, first of all, the spectator can just look and see if there is a single suit that's different from the rest. And in this case, we don't have a single suit that's on its own in the group. We have a matching suit somewhere else. We've got 2 spades here, as you can see, 2 clubs. We have 2 hearts, 2 diamonds, or 3 diamonds. So what you can do is have the spectator just swap any one of the facing cards for the next card underneath, switch them like that. Now, obviously, if it's the same suit again, that doesn't work. So just go to a different pile and do the same thing. Just swap for the card underneath so they have a different suit. And just to kind of keep doing that until they have a suit that's on its own. So, do we have any suits that are by themselves yet? No. So, let's see, we have hearts here. So let's just swap these like that. And now we have a singled out heart. You can see it's the only heart in the group. So that's all the spectator has to do, is just single out a suit to focus on. Now, it's important that they also make sure that it's the only singled out suit. You don't want to have another singled out suit, because that can happen. So you want to make sure that they just swap cards until they have the only one suit singled out. Now this chart, you explain to the spectator, is designed to set up in their subconscious a very strong visual focus of the one card that stands out visually, and that in this case is the 3 of hearts. Now, they're going to do this while your back is turned, so that you're not going to be able to see what the spectator's doing. Okay, so they have a card in mind. They have the 3 of hearts in this case. Now you instruct the spectator that they can pick up the piles in any order Doesn't matter which order they pick up the piles, they just have to remember their focus card, the 3 of hearts in this case. And they are to cut the cards. You actually, once they've gathered up the piles, you can turn back around now because now you can't see the cards, of course, so you're safe to look at the deck because it's face down. You can have the spectator continue to cut the deck, just like so he explained how they cut them. Just keep cutting the cards as many times as they like so that their focus card and the other cards that they've chosen their focus card from are completely lost in the deck. So there's no possible way you could know what card they are thinking of, and the 3 of hearts in this case. So what you're going to do then as the performer is take the deck of cards, you're going to hold it face down in your hand, and you're simply just going to go through the cards just like this. About this speed, you're just going to go through and feel for impressions of cards that may potentially be the card they're focusing on. So you're just going through just like this. It's exactly how it looks. And once you've gone through the whole deck, you then pick up the deck and you go through it one more time, but this time you're not going to show the cards to the spectator because you don't want to show what cards you're getting impressions about with. So you go through the cards, looking at them like this, not showing the spectator. You just go through one at a time, looking. You set a card aside that you get an impression of, from, and you just keep building a small packet of cards that you're going to use to hone in on what card they're thinking of. Again, you're doing this without any help from the spectator. This is the first time you've handled the deck since the spectator's built the chart that you have not looked at, so it's impossible to know what cards they even looked at to come up with their random card. So you then come up with this small packet of cards which you don't show the spectator. You just look through it and you seem to be deciphering, sort of reading, scanning the cards to come up with this one card that stands out from the rest. You put the other cards away. You then ask the spectator what was their card that they were focusing on, and in this case the 3 of hearts, and of course you flip over the card to reveal to them that indeed you knew exactly what card they were focusing on. Now, that should really amaze them, I think. You didn't even see how many piles they had. I mean, they built this so-called focus chart, completely randomly on their own. There's just no possible way you could know what card they've looked at. They've cut the cards themselves as many times as they wanted, so the cards were completely lost. So I think this should be really amazing. So I hope you like that, and I will now show you the tutorial at the link. So thank you for watching.